Okay, this is the thing to understand about Dijkstra's algorithm. There is like the golden rule, which is that when you close a node, you assume that you found the optimal path for it. So what do I mean by closing a node? Well, usually what you do is you add it to some list of visited nodes, and you don't use it anymore for data. So you're completely done with it, and you assume that you found the optimal path for it. Let me give you like a small example. So here we have this example graph, and one of the weights are unknown completely. So can we still for sure find the shortest path given that all weights are positive? So this unknown value could be anything, but it will be positive no matter what. So maybe pause the video if you want to think about it. But the answer is yes, we can. So we can with 100% certainty say that A through here C and then to D, that is the shortest path. Because no matter what we put here in the question mark, it's only gonna make this path greater than 100. And that's because we have this weight, which is 100. So whatever we put here will just add to that. So it might be 200 or 101, doesn't matter. It will be above 100. And if we see here, this bottom one will just be 2, so much smaller. But let's actually try running Dijkstra's algorithm on this. So what will happen is we start with A, and then we record the weights of B and C, and then we pick C because it has the smallest known distance of these kind of open nodes, and we record the distance of D, which is 2, because we already had the 1 from here, and then we add the 1. And then we close C, so we're done with that, and now we need to pick a new one, and then we pick D, because that's again the one with the smallest known distance of the open nodes, so that isn't B because we know that it has at least 100, so we pick D. We do nothing for D. Here we might even end the algorithm, but it's closed, so and that's kind of where this golden rule comes into play. So now we know actually for certain that we've closed it. Now that we've closed it, we know we have the optimal path for it. We might even check out B as well, but we won't really do anything because we're not interested in this weight. So it just points to a closed node at this point, so we won't even consider this. So yeah, so this weight doesn't even matter. It could be blank, honestly, as long as it's a positive value for sure, then we don't even need it. But let me show something else, which is that if we put it to a negative value, so here we have negative 1000, and here our kind of golden rule actually breaks down a bit, because here clearly the above path here is the smallest one, but as we saw before with Dijkstra's algorithm, it won't even consider this, like it doesn't use this to get the result of the shortest path, and of course if it doesn't even consider it, then the outcome isn't going to change. So it's still going to consider the smallest, this bottom here path to be the smallest one. Yeah, so what's happening is that it thinks that because we have a 100 here, anything beyond this point is going to be greater, but because this is less, it's negative, it's kind of going to undo what the 100 did, so the total is going to be less, it's going to be minus 900, and Dijkstra's algorithm really isn't going to expect that because it's taking advantage of this kind of rule, and it assumes that whatever comes beyond this point is going to be greater.